Coach, over here. You guys are on the verge of making history and a historic comeback. What are the steps you're taking between now and Monday to guarantee that your team is going to stay in focus and you will succeed on Monday?
I mean, there is no guarantee. We just have to understand why we're still alive, and the mindset doesn't shift. And so you just can't relax.
What'd you draw up there on that final play, and how heady a play was that? Was Derick to see that opening and cut to the rim to go for that offensive rebound?
Yeah, really just tried to get it to a spot where we can take 1 or 2 dribbles and get a shot, and they did a good job of denying with the inbounder, which is always a hard read. But at the end of the games like that, you know, our guys talk about just crashing at the end of the game, giving it a chance, and D. White made a great play. Smart made a great play, getting open to get a shot off, and, you know, D. White made a great play.
Joe, what went through your mind? Did you know it was good?
I had no idea. No.
What went through your mind when it was ruled? Nothing?
Game 7.
Coach, how would you describe the personality of this team? I mean, you were down 3-0. It seemed like you guys, from what we saw on the court, you seemed a little disconnected. All of a sudden, you come together and you force a Game 7. How would you describe the personality of your club?
Yeah, they're just resilient. You know, I've said it throughout the year. That's one of the best locker rooms I've ever been a part of. It starts with them. They have a togetherness. They have a connectivity. And, you know, they just, at the hardest times, they, you know, stick by each other. And they've done that for a long time. And so credit to them.
Joe, you talk about three-point shooting. You shot 20%, outscored by 21 at the three-point line. How do you pull off a win when there's that big of a disparity for you guys?
Just figure it out. Just make plays. You know, each guy on that team just made plays down the stretch. And, you know, obviously you have to have some luck on your side. They missed some open shots. We missed some open shots. But you just got to stay in the fight and make the next best play you can. And I thought each guy on the team did that.
Joe, you guys were up 10 with about 4 minutes left. What did you see over that stretch there where you went about 0 for 6 over the next, you know, string of possessions there?
I saw all 6 bricks. They went zone, slowed us down a little bit. We got some really good looks. Just didn't make them, but, you know, we kept chipping away at it. I liked just the resiliency that the guys played with. We had some opportunities to crash. We did that, and just resiliency from the guys. You know, so that's it.
You said looking at Game 7, we got to remember what got us here. How did you guys get here? Only 4 teams in NBA history have even forced to Game 7 down 0-3.
Faith, love, togetherness, physicality, belief, hope, all those things combined. But it starts with the locker room. So those guys had a choice to make, and they chose to believe in each other.
Joe, you've remained incredibly steady throughout this entire series, and the team has continued to re-emphasize locking in and being together. So how do you feel like the tone that you set here allows the team to not panic in these huge moments? Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. And so I think we just feed off each other in that standpoint of, these are the circumstances, and, you know, what do we have to do to figure it out? And it starts with them. And so each one of those guys, like I said, goes into a different level of who they are as a person and as a player. And, you know, it starts with them in the locker room.
Joe, obviously Derick White had the game-winning offensive rebound, but you had a few key offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. Just what's it say about these guys that even when the shots aren't falling, they're finding ways to kind of keep possessions alive and give themselves a chance?
I mean, that was always the question, right? Like, what happens when we don't shoot the ball well? And I think the guys buying into those corner crashing opportunities is what gave us a chance. And I think those things are important. And we had some of that in Game 5, and then, you know, we had some more of that tonight.
Joe, what did you make of the activity and presence of your bigs, Al Horford and Robert Williams tonight?
Those 2 guys, you know, they don't probably get enough credit. They're just, you know, staples for us on both ends of the floor. And when they play with the level of physicality and presence for us, we're a different team. And, you know, there's a bunch of guys on our team that have different gifts, you know, that they bring to the table outside of basketball. And Al and Rob are 2 guys that bring a sense of joy and just bring a sense of steadiness. And so we really rely on them for that. Thank you.
Jaylen, what
What was your viewpoint of that final play there, and what was the reaction in the locker room after you guys pulled that out?
It all happened so fast, I couldn't really tell. I know Smart shot it, and I thought it was good. And then Derick White, like a flash of lightning, just came out of nowhere and saved the day, man. It was just incredible play. Excited, grateful. You know, it means nothing if we come and lay an egg on our home floor. So still focused, you know, but excited that we came here and did what we said we was going to do.
Jaylen, when you pull out a win like this, when it looked like it was gone, what kind of boost does that give you heading into the Game 7?
It gives you a supreme boost in confidence, man. It don't get too much worse than being down 0-3. Like, we feel like we've been held and back. So, you know, we feel like we can face any adversity that gets thrown at us in the duration of a game or duration of a season or in a postseason. So it all means nothing if we don't come out and give our best effort on our home floor on Monday night.
You guys went up. I don't want to say it was a comfortable lead, but you had a pretty decent margin in the fourth quarter, gave it all away. Jimmy hits the 3 free throws. What's going through your mind as that happens? Just kind of like, wow, that happened quick. And then can you take us through just kind of the shift in emotions as White then follows that up?
In all honesty, at that point, I'm in full prayer mode. Like, whatever prayer I got, whatever dua I got, reciting it over and over in my head. And, you know, I knew our season was on the brink. And I'm just grateful to God that, you know, we was able to get the win.
Jaylen, I know Game 6 just ended, but you yourself have referenced Game 7 a couple of times now. Without the obvious, which is the place is going to be loud and rocking, can you put into words, like, really what the atmosphere, what it's going to be like Monday with Game 7?
Man, I can only imagine. I know these fans, you can hear them here in Miami, so I can't even imagine what it's going to be like for Game 7. It's going to be huge. Best 2 words in sports is Game 7, and our home crowd. I know they're going to bring the energy, so I'm excited.
Jaylen, right here. Coach Mazzulla was just saying that the togetherness is what's really helped you guys come from this entire deficit. How would you summarize the way that you guys have come all the way back to force this Game 7?
You know, it just takes togetherness. Like, everything was going wrong. You know, that's when you start to see the character of yourself. That's when you start to see the character of your group. You know, don't measure a man when everything is going well. Measure a team or a group or individual when adversity hits. And it hit us like a storm. Like, can't get no worse in the playoffs and how we kind of been playing. And look at how we responded. You know, being down 3 games, nobody has ever been able to, you know, come back from that as far as as of yet. But it's only, 4 or 5 teams that's been able to force a Game 7. That just tells you that the group that we have is unique. The group that we have is special. And sometimes you need a little bit of, luck to bring it home. And tonight, you know, was an amazing game and incredible play at the end.
Jaylen, for you personally, in foul trouble in the second half, and then as a team, you guys were in the penalty for the last 8 minutes of the third quarter. How were you able to maintain your poise and come back mentally?
Just had to refocus. You know, at times during the game, you know, that crowd gets into it. You know, those guys over on the Miami East side, they play hard. I feel like I lost focus a little bit at a point during the game. And when I came out of halftime, I wanted to make sure that I regained my focus and got in foul trouble, but, you know, just stayed in the mind frame that I needed to help my team, and I helped us pull out a win.
You mentioned you guys fighting through adversity, Jaylen. You guys had literally your worst 3-point shooting game of the season, shot 7 for 35. How are you able to overcome that and be able to, you know, pull this game out despite the fact that you guys weren't able to get anything going?
Defense. Our defense kept us in games, and defense is why it's going to be a Game 7. We held them the first 3 games. I think they was averaging above 115. last 3 games has been around 100. I think defense is the key. Defense has made the biggest difference.
Final question, Derick.
Jaylen, you talked about after Game 4 how you guys needed to kind of get together and kind of reconnect with each other and find especially your defensive connectivity. So how crucial was that moment for you guys to kind of just forget about everything on the court and focus on what makes you together?
That moment, that small instance, that small moment, you know, really signified everything that we're seeing right now. In that moment, you know, we could have chose to be like throwing the towel. And I think, like, you know, that's what everybody was expecting, you know, or seeing or feeling that was coming. But nah, that's not how we wanted to go out. And we appreciate all the fans who supported us to get to this point. Now, we're not all the way there. We got to still come out and win Game 7.
Thank you, Jaylen.
Thank you.
Jayson and Derick.
Obviously, let's walk through that final putback there. What did you see in that final play?
I mean, I was passing it in. Vincent was on me, and he kind of was up top denying JT, so I couldn't get hit the ball. And I did a good job of denying JB too, and smart flash hit him, and there really was nobody on me. So I just spaced to the corner, and then when he shot it, just tried to crash. Ball came to me, I made a shot, so that's what I saw.
Did you know it was good when you put it back?
It felt good. Everybody's asked me, he's like, did you get it off? And I was like, yeah, I think so. But, I mean, it was so close, you never know.
Derick, what was that string of emotions like for you and the team after that situation? You guys were up 10 with 4 minutes left there. It looked like it was slipping away, like for you individually and just to save the season on that front. What did that feel like?
We're just happy we won. However we got to get it done, we got it done. Now it's on to Game 7.
Sort of along those lines, you guys went 7 for 35 from 3 today. Obviously got a bunch of decent looks, couldn't make them. But over the course of the year, those tend to be the games you guys have let slip away. What was different about today?
When we stick together. Obviously, JB and JT were special, and smart. But, I mean, we just stick together. Keep getting good looks, keep moving the ball, and defensively, I think we're really good, too. So, obviously, there's a lot we can improve on, and we're going to need to be better for Game 7.
Derick, how are you guys doing this? I mean, have won 3 straight. Only 4 teams have ever come back to force a Game 7. What's been the key to the turnaround?
One game at a time, sticking together. I mean, the same things we've been saying this whole time. We had a great locker room, and we just take it in one game at a time.
Looked like you got emotional out there on the court. What does this moment mean for you to save the season and an elimination game on the road, to have everything on the ropes, kind of a disaster right before that happened? What does it just mean to you, that moment?
I was just happy. I mean, like you said, the season was on the line. We don't want to go home, and so I was just happy we got the win.
Joe just said that you guys chose to believe in each other when your backs were against the wall after Game 3. How crucial was it for you guys to get together, kind of reaffirm your bond as friends and teammates before even worrying about the basketball stuff?
I mean, if you've been around us the whole season, you know how close this locker room is. You see how we're always joking around. Everybody's getting along, and I mean, when times are tough, it's easy to kind of point the fingers, per se, but we just stuck together, care for each other, and we got one more game to go.
Derick, when you saw Smart wasn't going to hit you, you darted for the rim. Is that? I mean, that seems like you're something you're taught in youth ball. Attack, go for the board. What was going through your mind when you just kind of made an L move? And then secondly, you're a guy who doesn't like a lot of publicity. You're a man of few words, but what's it like to kind of be on the podium, the walk-off interview, the center of attention? How do you deal with that over the next 48 hours and probably all the text messages you'll have when you look at your phone?
Yeah, I mean, it don't do no good to stand in the corner there, whether he makes it or not. So I just was crashing the glass, and it came right to me. But yeah, it's gonna be a little crazy. My phone's already blowing up, but get home tomorrow, play with Hendricks. I'm sure he won't look at me any differently, so that would be cool.
Derick, I mean, you had a huge game before that, some big threes and an outstanding job defending Jimmy Butler. What was your mentality, and how were you able to come in here and, I mean, win this game, will this game?
Whatever it takes. It didn't matter when I scored 11 or 20 or 0. I mean, we win, I'm happy, and this is my mindset, just whatever it takes.
Hey, Derick, right here. Just kind of piggybacking off that, Jimmy was 0 of 6 when you were on him. What was the approach there in order to try to lock him down? And it's just, how were you able to do it?
I mean, he's a great player. I mean, some big shots, especially down the stretch there. I just try to make it difficult for him. Try to keep him off the foul line. I mean, he's going to make tough shots. He's going to get to where he wants to. We just try to make it tough on him.
Derick, obviously that was like an emotional end leading up to that. They make the comeback, they take the lead. Can you kind of bring us inside that last huddle a little bit, what guys were saying, what the mood was, and like Joe was saying how you guys always talk about everybody crash. Did that come up in that moment? Like just kind of what were you guys discussing?
No, I don't. At least I didn't hear anybody say everybody crashed, but we've talked about it pretty much the whole year. Everybody just like make a play. That's all it was right there, make a play.
How were you guys able to keep your poise?
I don't know if poise is a great word to use with that last 4 minutes, but we found a way to win.
Final question, Bobby and Tim.
Derick, I think your dad said this is your first game winner ever. Are there any moments from your career that compare to this?
First game winner ever? I had something, especially when I college or something. I'm gonna check my dad on that one, but I mean, this is special. This is the playoffs, Game 6, back against the wall. I mean, this is definitely special.
You mentioned it there a little bit, but it's not the first time you guys have had a stretch like that, late in a game like that. What do you think is the thing that is going through your what happens to you guys in those stretches where you do tend to sort of get a little static on offense and things start to go sideways?
I mean, I think we got some good looks. We just didn't make them. So just continue to trust that, make the right play, just continue to trust each other. So, I mean, we continue to get those looks. We have confidence we'll knock them down.
Thank you, Derick.
Jayson, what was just your viewpoint on that final play and the swing of emotions you guys had in that final 3 seconds there?
Ooh-wee. Oh my God, that was incredible. Man, we drew up a play. They kind of took the way that I was trying to get the ball. Jimmy and Strus jumped out to me, Smart came in and shot it, and we just crashed the glass. And everything was like a blur after that. D. White tipped it in, but that felt like the longest 10 seconds ever waiting for confirmation if he made it or not. I'm still like in disbelief. That shit was crazy. But I'm glad we got another chance, another opportunity. It's far from over. It's still an uphill battle, but I feel good to give yourself another chance, another opportunity.
Jayson, you've been on the wrong side of go-ahead shots, but what is that like when it's 3 free throws? You can't contest, you can't board, you can't deny. I mean, you have to stand there and watch the score flip. How tough is that?
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. We missed some shots, we missed some free throws, we may have had a turnover. It just seemed like everything that could go wrong was going wrong that last 2.5, 3 minutes or whatever. We foul, 3-point shot. But there's still 3 seconds left. You don't have time to think about. You're just in the moment. Next play. And it worked out.
Jayson, the Game 5 in Boston was awesome from all the scenarios. What do you expect from the Garden on Monday? And now, yes, 7th game, are you ready to make history? There is always a first time.
Yeah. Right now, I'm just excited that we just gave ourselves another chance, right? You know, we didn't play well the first 3 games. We didn't deserve to win, whatever you want to say. And we really took it one game at a time. And, you know, the series is not over, right? We still got a big game Monday, but just the grit that we showed to get to this moment, I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be on this team. And I've never been so excited to go back to Boston in my life. And I cannot wait to see all the fans on Monday, because it's going to be fun.
I kind of hate following up a quote like that with this, but you guys struggled from 3. Only Derick and Marcus were able to hit 3s in this game. How do you guys, it's usually a formula for losing. How do you guys pull out this game not hitting these shots?
Defense. I think, we only made 7 threes. Yeah, it was defense that kept us in the game, that allowed us to stay in the game. And, you know, we've kind of changed that around to win these last 3 games. You know, our defensive identity has been the reason why. And it's a hell of a win, you know, 44% from the field, 20% from the 3, and still find a way to win. Take it every day of the week.
Just this feels like, you know, like a celebration like this, relief like this, like it feels like you guys won something, like the series almost. How do you, in such a short time, recenter and, you know, take the realization that there's still one left?
Oh, no, it's not. We all talked about it. We're all aware. It's not time to celebrate, right? We didn't accomplish anything. We won a game, a big game that we had to win, in an incredible fashion. You know, be proud of the way we played, proud of the way we figured it out. But, you know, the job is far from finished. This is a great team, really well-coached team, and we got to be ready on Monday. It's not over, right? You know, both teams want this extremely, like, to the highest degree. They want it, we want it. The guys are competing on both ends, giving everything they have. So, and you like being a part of series and games like that. It brings the best out of you. So, you know, it's going to be tough on Monday for sure.
And just lastly, that last time out, obviously the focus was on trying to get you the ball. What do you remember about the discussions in the huddle and kind of the mood after such a deflating moment that preceded it?
I mean, we dribble play, and, you know, I was one option. You know, JB was an option. But, you know, the guy that was on the ball kind of went with me. You know, D. White passes smart. I thought that shot was good. It kind of went in and out. And shit, I mean, y'all saw the rest. D. White made a hell of a play.
Jayson, how did you, during that timeout, not get discouraged? I mean, you had given up the lead. What's going through your head in terms of, like, trying to save the game and not thinking the game was over? Like, and then the elation from what Derick did. Like, how do you capsulize those 2 minutes?
It's crazy. Somebody asked, one of the ball boys asked me that after the game. He was like, what does it feel like being out there? And I told him, you're aware of the score, you're aware of what's happening, but also you don't understand, like, the magnitude. You just stand in the moment, right? So I didn't have time to think, like, oh shit, the season might be over. It's just like, no, we got 3 seconds left. We try and make a play. Whatever happened just happened. So nobody was sitting there pouting or like, we blew it. It's like, no, we got 3 seconds left. You know, Joe drop a play. We try to execute it to the best of our ability. and make something happen. So that never like crossed my mind while I was sitting there. You know, I was just trying to see where we were running.
Cameras saw you talking to Derick, had a moment on the floor, and then later in the locker room, just kind of talking to JB. What were you guys saying? What were the conversations like?
Well, I kind of like, I don't even remember what I said on the court. I was in shock, but you know, when I got back to the locker room, everybody was excited, and it was just like a sigh of relief. Like, we didn't play well on offense. We didn't shoot the ball well. We missed some free throws late that guys probably wish they could have back. And it was just like, whew, we have another chance. And you don't always get, you know, second chances in life and things like that. So everybody, it was just like, just take a deep breath, right? We won a big game, and we have a special opportunity to play better on Monday back home.